None ready, sir.
Okay, ready, sir.
Ready. Ready, Nagji?
It's a very good morning to my beloved students and my teammates who are all present here for the second phase student induction program. I hope all are safe in this pandemic situation. Please all be at home and break the chain. Let us start today's session now. First, I would like to welcome our guest, Sri Ullas P, a resource person of today's session. A happy welcome to you, sir, for this second phase induction program for first year students conducted by PESCE India. Once again, on behalf of our SIP team, I welcome you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
I welcome all our team members for this session. And finally, but most importantly, I welcome all my students for this induction program. So before the resource person speech, first I would like to introduce them to all of you. Ullas P received his BE Electronics and Communication Engineering degree from Bahubali College of Engineering, VTU, Karnataka, and MTech Digital Communication and Networking degree from the Oxford College of Engineering, VTU, Karnataka in 2012 and 2014 respectively. He is pursuing his PhD from Vishweshwaraya Technological University, Karnataka in the field of wireless sensor networks. Currently working as an assistant professor in the Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering, PES College of Engineering, Mandya, Karnataka. Passion towards teaching has brought a very good name in his workplace throughout his career of about 6+ years. He has published 7 papers in reputed international and national journals and conferences. Behind his profession is a certified corporate trainer and startup consultant. He has involved himself in mentoring few startups and has been a part of academic consultant for established startups. With lots of passion towards changing the overview of education, he and his team have started a firm, Diksuchi, and is the founder and managing partner of Diksuchi, Mysuru. Through this, the team is working hard to build a strong bridge between education and professional and passionable jobs. Once again, I welcome you, sir. Today, sir is going to speak on awareness of e-learning platforms and its importances. Now, I'll request sir to take over the session.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
So, I'll share the screen now, first of all. Okay, so I think the screen is visible, sir.
Yes, sir, it is visible.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay.
Okay, sir. So, very good morning, everyone. So, it's always, and I feel very happy and enthusiastic whenever I try to sit in front of young minds like yours. So today we are here to trying here to discuss and to understand the awareness or the advantages of e-learning and why are we supposed to go with this e-learning. And the important thing is that how this e-learning will make our future or our current methods of learning to a different level. So we have to understand one thing, that we all are complaining right now, saying that e-learning it's quite tough. We are not able to manage. Definitely, there are a lot of negative points here. But the point that I have to mention to you all is that when we are speaking about the advantages, it is very common that we also have to speak about the disadvantages, right? But it is very much important for us to keep those advantages in the list and try to neglect some of the disadvantages or manage them. That's what is very important. Today we are all in the situation of this pandemic, wherein there are a lot of negative messages, negative thoughts, negative what news coming up to us, but it is all left to us how we are supposed to take it in. If we are good enough to understand the positiveness and keep those things in our mind, and if you are able to avoid or discharge all the negativity within us, then definitely that is one of the biggest medicine that we can fight against this pandemic situation. I hope you all agree with that, right? So myself, Ullas, and I work as an assistant professor in the Department of ECE in our own college. And also I have got another designation of managing partner for Diksuchi, which is a education consulting firm, which is located in Mysore. So today we'll be discussing things. So let us understand what all the things that we are going to discuss today. Uh, the first thing that we are going to discuss here means in this complete meeting we have the agenda, whatever that is planned, is what is education. Let us try to understand what is education first of all. Followed by that, we will try to have a small comparison of what is e-learning over the traditional learning. Why do we have to go for this e-learning that we are supposed to? We'll try to understand that, and then we'll also see some of the technologies that are there with respect to e-learning, and then definitely yes, advantages and disadvantages we are supposed to discuss, because when we are saying something that you have to follow this, then it is must and should that we also say that why we are supposed to follow. And there are always a lot of different questions coming up from the other side saying that why what, this could be a problem, that could be a problem. So we are supposed to list out both. So we are here, we are doing it, both advantages and disadvantages. Followed by that, different online e-learning platforms. I'll be trying to show you two of the online learning platforms that we are using right now. One is the Zoom meeting that right now we are connected through that, but you people are there in YouTube live, but we have got that small connectivity using uh, Zoom right now. So I'll show you that also, and I'll also show you the Google Meet, where you're actually your online classes are actually going on, where you have got some of the options that you can use. You should be very good at responding. So what all the other things you need to have, like the last point, that is good practices. If suppose we are speaking about online classes, what all the important practices that you need to have so that your class becomes more interactive. So all these things we are going to discuss today. First thing that you have to keep in mind is that yes, there are always complaints and there are always some points saying that yeah, online classes are not efficient. But if you ask me, there are always some equal balance that we have between the e-learning and also the traditional learning. Traditional learning has got its own advantages and disadvantages, and e-learning has got its own disadvantages and advantages. But at some point, we can always say that both of them come to a common level or common scale, where the advantages of e-learning would be fulfilling the disadvantages of traditional learning, and advantages of traditional learning would be fulfilling the disadvantages of e-learning. But when we are trying to list out some of the points, I would specifically say that e-learning has got more advantages when compared to that of traditional learning, because we are not in the era where we used to have Gurukul system and all those things. Right now, we are not there. We actually look forward to have something more interesting. We always try to look in for something that is more attractive, and we also have to have got something that is quite create some curiosity in minds. That is what we are supposed to do. But in terms of your regular traditional teaching or traditional learning process, it is very difficult for to create all those things. And very recently we have heard that there is a survey of if I'm not wrong, it is WHO's, that is World Health Organization, and UNICEF also. They say that the maximum amount of time that the current generation can sit concentrating on a single work is maximum of 11 minutes and 54 seconds, it seems. That's all. So that means you people can sit in front of something interesting, means continuously you can concentrate on those things for maximum of 11 minutes and 54 seconds. That's all. So think about it. If suppose you are concentrating on things only for 11 minutes and 54 seconds, and if you ask me to teach you for 1 hour standing in front of you in a classroom, then how it could be possible that I try to feed all the knowledge into your mind? Will you be able to take up all those things together? That would be very difficult. There are, like, it's not everybody's scale, but it is the average that they have formulated. So there are also some people who are very curious and they are always concentrating on things. They sit in front of it could be a class or a movie or a sport. They sit in front of this, it would be television or in live. they'll be able to completely concentrate on it. So those kind of people are also there. At the same time, you also have to look for those who will not be able to concentrate on things for a long time. So on that terms, when we are speaking about the average time that has been specified is 11 minutes and 54 seconds. So let us try to go ahead and see what is that we are supposed to, what is that we are trying to learn from this session. The first thing is all about education. What is this education? We have to understand the definition of education very properly, because education is not something that has been defined in terms of a process right now. The education and its definition has changed time every time. Previously it was something else, later on they have given a small upgradation for the definition, and today they have a very different meaning for education. Education earlier was the process of receiving or giving systematic instruction, especially at schools and colleges or universities. So think about that. That was education very previously. Mean to say, you are supposed to come sit in a place. There were some set of rules. You're supposed to follow them. There were some set of instructions. You're supposed to take those instructions very properly, and you're supposed to execute them in terms of the instructions that were given. And that complete education was done at only schools or at colleges or universities, right? So that was the definition of education we had very early, right? Later on the change was there, definitely. Very, we always have to see, we have to accept that change is the only constant, and the change happens depending on the current what current availabilities or current technologies available, and current mentality of human beings. So all these things will matter definitely. So later on we have got another definition saying that the process of facilitating learning or the acquisition of knowledge, skills, values, morals, beliefs, and habits. So think about that. So very previously we spoke about only the instructions to be given to understand or to learn something. That too, very specifically, we also saw that it is systematic instructions, very systematic instructions. But later on we have come up to us one thing that is calling it as learning. We are supposed to learn. Learning is more important, right? But at the same time we also saw that these are some of the important points wherein you are supposed to understand or learn, right? That is your knowledge. Definitely yes, knowledge is something very valuable. Skills, much needed for this life right now. Values should always be there. It is not with respect to any time. It should always be there in the past, current, in present, or in future. Values are very much important. Morals, which will always lead you to a good goal or will always lead you to a better result. And then beliefs. Yes, the positive beliefs must always be there. Beliefs, don't take a definition of belief as it is. So this is what the thing is all about. Today's presentation, what I'm going to discuss is all about e-learning is just a process. It is there, but how you're going to utilize it, that is very much important. So we have to understand that how efficiently are we able to use the available technology and to enhance our knowledge. So how we will be able to do that, that is what is important. So belief, yes, belief is important, but what kind of belief, how you are supposed to believe, that is important, that you have to keep in your mind. Okay. Then habits, have very good habits, that is very very much important, right? So think about the change there. We had thoughts which were supposed to be told in terms of instructions to understand, to learn, which has completely changed to different factors where education is a process, not just learning something from your books or technology, something about that, but also more than that, we are supposed to learn values, morals, beliefs, and habits, right? So that variation is there. Why are these variations coming up? Because as and then we are evolving towards the advancements, we all look for some good is definitely is happening. We have got facilities, we have got technology, we have the abilities, the capabilities of students have been changed. Your IQs have been grown up. Your ability to grasp things quickly, that features are enhancing. Very previously, when we speak about the students of very early age, like 1980s or 90s of that sort, it is always difficult for them to understand or grasp things very quickly. There used to be like multiple times that they were supposed to practice, they were supposed to hear to it, or they were supposed to look into it for many times so that they can understand it. But today it is not so. Your abilities are something on a very different scale. You will be able to grasp things if you are able to deliver it in a proper way, right? So that is one of the important things. So knowledge and skills are being fed in a very different manners. It is not just that there is a need, but it is also that there can be a platform which can create curiosity in you, interest in you, and make sure that you understand things. But the other way around, the values and morals, beliefs and habits, these are missing right now, which are going down, and we all expect that to be raised to a better level. So there it is, like the definition has changed. The next thing is that the other definition that I'm supposed to discuss is the discipline that is concerned with methods of teaching and learning, as opposed to various non-formal and informal means of socialization. This is also, see, the definition has changed in a very different way now. After first we were supposed to understand about the instruction, systematic instructions. Later, instructions, knowledge, skills were important, but at the same time we were supposed to understand values, morals, beliefs and habits. But moving ahead, now it is all about the methods, because knowledge or the content, whatever that you want. Okay, where did I get these definitions of education? Definitely through internet. So are you not able to go out to internet and read? But why are you not reading what is the definition of education? Because you're not interested. You don't need to go and read that definition. So this was a platform where I have shown something which I have taken it from a place which is also available to you. Why colleges is there when there are a lot of online platforms are available, e-learning platforms are there? And when I am speaking that e-learning platforms are important and you can learn a lot of things from that, it is because that you people, right, or a student or a young mind do not have that idea of where to learn and what to learn, how much to learn. That barrier or that definition or that instruction of learning is still there. That mold that is required to make you a better engineer is created by us from the college, and we definitely use a lot of resources that are also available to you. We make sure that we create a copy of it and we give it to you. So everything we do, but the point is that the method, what method that are we using so that we can induce education in you guys, that is very much important, right? So today's definition mostly speaks about the methods. What methods, right? So here it is very much important to have the concept of methods, where we also have to concentrate on teaching, and also in terms of from your end it is learning. So all these things are important. It is not just that I sit in a place, I look somewhere else, and I'll be speaking about something else, and you people do not concentrate on it. So that should not be happening. When I'm here, when you are there, it should be a proper what link that we can create. I know it is very difficult, so I go on discussing on the same thing in the upcoming slides, right? So we have to look in for these things. Yes, and one thing I have to promise you by the like right now and also by the end of the session, that through e-learning we'll be able to connect in a very good way. It is possible if we are able if we concentrate on things, and if we decide that we will do it, and we definitely will be able to create a good connection or good relationship through this online platform also. Okay then, so why e-learning? Why not textbook learning? Why not the traditional way of learning? The first thing is about paper. Very big thing. We all are speaking about environment, save trees or plant trees, keep your surrounding green, and all those things we speak. But at the same time, when we are speaking about, we all have to look for the other way around. If we are supposed to go for textbook learning and all those things, definitely we are hurting trees at the other end. Yes, this is one of the big point. Definitely yes. But at the same time, when we look in terms of practicing or in terms of examinations, we may have come up to a different level where we are able to have the upgraded level of what evaluation or assessment, that is possible with us, but some traditional methodologies are still there, and we are yet to follow all those things, and uh, therefore paper is one of the important disadvantage of textbook learning. So we may have to keep or try to avoid this, the papers, more papers, right? Because we have got many different applets winners, or the electronic gadgets are there in our hands, and anytime, anywhere, any subject, any textbook, anything you want to get in that moment, you will be able to get it, right? The next thing is infrastructure. Creation of infrastructure is also one of the biggest deal right now. Buildings, classrooms, technologies available, required to facilitate, and then your what, hospitality, your transport, well, likewise. So that means infrastructure means there is a lot of money involved, right? But at the same time, when we are speaking about the current technology, like technology also takes a bit of money, but when compared to that of infrastructure or real time investments, maybe the technology can be very much affordable. So that is one of the reason why I have mentioned this. Next, why not textbook? Again, the important thing is that, or their classroom learning, the important thing is that it is closed. That means we have 40 members in the class, or 50 members in the class, or 60 members in the class. It is closed for only for those 60 members. If suppose we have another person who wants to come and learn from this class, it is not possible, because it is very much close to those people who are there inside the class. So this textbook or traditional way of learning makes that shield, that protection is created inside the classroom, and it is limited. We are not able to reach. It is not just the problem for the person who wants to learn, it is also the problem for the person who is trying to be a learner, who are facilitating for learning. So even for us also, it is a point that we have to keep in our mind, that we may be, if there is a chance, we will be happy to reach to a bigger extent, right? That is also possible for through e-learning. This here, it is limited, it is not possible. We will not be able to reach to a different level, not more than the limited number that is there in the class that is there. Uniform, your teaching becomes uniform. You cannot alter your teaching between the required students. That is one of the biggest problem. Today we are facilitating you people through, like, for those who have got a bit of less grasping power, for them we may be able to go for another class, or we will be trying to have a interactive session, so that we can enhance some of a bit of knowledge for you guys. But the point is that it is not possible in the classroom, mostly in the classroom, because we have 60 students. If I concentrate on someone who is actually very low in terms of his grasping, if I go on teaching or repeating the same thing multiple times, then definitely the person who is good at grasping will not be interested to sit in my class. At the same time, if I'm trying to go on a very good pace, covering my all the topics and syllabus and all those things, then the student who is not good at grasping, or who is feeling it is difficult to understand, then that person will not feel happy to sit in the class. So in this classroom teaching, it is very much important that it is very difficult for us to manage between these 2 points. These are very big high and low points. It is not so easy for us to manage those two things, right? So through e-learning, we can solve these problems. Next one is rigid. It is very much rigid. It is not flexible, because we have limited time. 1 hour, I said, like, I have 1 hour today. I have got a class. I am coming and I'm teaching you. The next moment I go back, I may be having another class. I may be preparing for it. I may give you another half an hour, or 45, or 1 hour maximum, another extra 1 hour maximum. But at the same time, I will have my own responsibilities to do. I may not be able to give you time there. But this can be resolved by using e-learning. We'll speak about that also. And it is boring because why boring? Because you have to sit for 1 hour. Big deal. I have already told you that your concentrating time, on an average, the concentrating time would be like 11 minutes, or maximum of 12 minutes. But when I'm taking for 1 hour, it would be very difficult for you people to sit there and listen to me. That's a very big difficulty. And then when you are not concentrating on something, and when you are not allowed to concentrate on something that you are interested, then the moment becomes boring, right? You want to watch, you want to look into your phone for that moment, maybe for a minute or two, but if we are not allowing you to do that, then you feel depressed. You will not be happy that, yeah, they're not allowing to look into my phone, something like that. That negative energy will be created around your mind, and you'll start feeling about the class like it's a boring class or something like that. Then automatically, even though the topic is important or interesting, or whatever the new way that the teacher has brought it in front of you, that would be very difficult for you to concentrate on a class, right? So we all have got these points. We keep everything in our mind when we are actually teaching in your classroom, or in the traditional teaching way. But the point is that right now at this situation, it's our duty and it's your duty to concentrate more on the concept of e-learning or online teaching, online learning, wherein you have to be able to be active, responding, and grasp more amount of knowledge. Okay, I'm going to make a lot of requests to you all so that we make this online teaching platform also more efficient. Okay, so going up. So now we will answer why not textbook and why e-learning. The first thing is important, that is it is digital. No textbooks, no books, no papers, no harm to environment. It definitely, I don't say that completely no harm to environment. There is always harm when we are speaking about technology. Does, yes, the technology also creates some disturbance in the environment. We have to accept that. But in terms of green or trees, yeah, maybe that is one of the maybe it would not be such a big problem, right? So that is one of the important point that we have to keep in mind. Then the next one is electronic device. We have got the possibility of having like electronic devices are available, and definitely that means what you are able to get what you want whenever you want. That is one of the important thing, right? We will have the highest facility and highest number of accessibilities. You are able to reach out to any nook and corner of this world sitting at one place. All these things are possible. So that is what this diagram is all about, right? So we will be able to we are able to concentrate more on that of like you have got all the facilities available. You'll be able to go and reach to any point, any nook and corner of the world sitting at one place, and you are able to connect to everything, right? We are also looking forward to have a new upcoming technology which is 5G, where we are not speaking about connecting human to human. We are actually thinking about connecting human to everything, right? So when we are thinking about that way, mean to say you are able to sit on one place and you will be able to reach out to any point of this world, or to anything in this world, not just any point, anything in this world, right? That is because of electronic devices. And definitely possibilities are like maybe it is not like, I have to speak on that also. Having a very small phone in your hand, sitting for a long time in the class, it would be very difficult. It is not good. We'll speak about that also in the upcoming slides. But having a proper what having a proper device, electronic device that is suitable for your learning would be one of the best way to learn. So electronic device, it is very much important that we also think about having a very specific design. Or I have to say that it is a very important thing that you have to keep in your mind, right? Open for more, yes. So there it was closed, here it is open for more. Open for more means it is not restricted that only those 60 members have to reach or understand things through my online teaching or e-learning. It is also possible that even more than those they can learn from it. Or see, it is always common, we'll directly accept that. That means what, for few students, it is always about the synchronization. If I am synchronized with 40 of my students and there are 10 other people, students who are not synchronized with me, they feel that my teaching is not good for them, or vice versa. Let us accept both. At the same time, that 10 members would be feeling that the teaching, the methodology that the other person is using in other classroom or other section would be more comfortable for you, right? So that possibility of changing it or exchanging those things is not available right now with us in the traditional way of teaching, but here this is possible. If I'm creating a learning platform, and if my another colleague also creating another learning platform, so people can jump into any of the proper learning platform to understand things that are actually taught during any session. Biggest possibility and biggest advantage for both of us, for me and for you. I being a teacher, it is my own concern and my own aim that I reach to all my students who are attending to my session. At the same time, who are all interested to listen to my sessions, they'll only be there in my class. So likewise, we are going to have a proper synchronization to transfer knowledge from one point to another point. This will be very big and very efficient way of teaching, and this is possible through e-learning. Then maximum reach, it is not limited to anyone, not to my student, not to my class, not to my college. I can also expand it to anywhere, anyone, right? I can go for a maximum reach. This possibility is there, right? The next one is mobile. It is not constant. You don't have to sit in one place to understand things, right? You may roam around. You don't have to sit in a place, get your back pained, nothing. You don't have to heat up a seat. You can just go up, stand up, move around, put on a Bluetooth earphone, walk, jog, do anything, whatever you want. All these possibilities are there if things are through in terms of listening. But when there are something to be practicing, that's a different part, right? You have to sit, you look at it, you are feeling not comfortable right at that moment, not understanding something, go back, rewind the video, relook to it, and then understand things, right? So this possibility is not there with the traditional classroom, and it is mobile. Wherever you are, whenever you want, you are able to get that data. 1 hour of class is done, but after in the evening you will feel like you will be solving a problem, assignment problem that is given by a faculty. Now while solving, you found that you are not able to understand some specific step. Then it is usually it is very difficult. You cannot come to your faculty and ask them to reteach you everything and again go and solve the assignment. That would be not possible now. But through e-learning, that is possible. You will be able to get the copy of a video, relook into the video, and you will be able to understand. So all these things are possible, right, through this. Then flexible, yes, very much flexible. It is not just that I have to teach you between 9 and 10 a.m. only, right? I may be able to do it some other time also. I can just play a video right now here. I would have recorded some time before, planning all my complete session for duration. I can just play the video right now and do other job. Possible. So all these things are possible at the same time for you also. It is not just that you have to sit online to understand something, but you may get a recorded video and you'll be able to relook into the video many times to understand things. Possible. Likewise, the flexibility in learning is available through this e-learning platform. Then it is interesting. Yes, we are able to make it more interesting. How? See, I would have not able to bring in this diagram to you all if I'm speaking about a traditional teaching. If you give me a blackboard and a chalk in my hand, I would not be able to bring in this diagram to you all, nor this diagram to you all, to make you understand, to make it more interesting, right? So as the word says here, one size does not fit to everyone. See how important it is? Don't you think so? So in the traditional way of teaching, we are trying to create this kind of a shoe. That's why I'm not showing a small one. I'm showing a bigger one. It can be suitable for everyone. Sometimes like you all can fit in, but you all can jump in, but you may not be able to fit in. All right. So e-learning creates that kind of a thing. It makes it flexible. Depending on your need, depending on your capabilities, the size of the shoe can be varied, right? So that is possible only because of it is possible through e-learning, right? So that is why we are stressing more onto e-learning now. So what are the different learning technologies available? When we are speaking about learning technologies, the important thing that the very important thing that we have to understand or know is that it is the presentations or multimedia presentations. Right now I have done this presentation for you all, which is a multimedia presentation where I have an image, I have a small animation, I have my voice that I'm giving right now. So all these things together, I can call it as multimedia presentation, right? That is one of the biggest or easiest method that we can follow. Yes, in our college we have that facility available to in maximum number of places, and we have got that ability to deliver a better presentation through this multimedia presentations. But at the same time, we also have upgraded technology available with us, which is the smart boards. Yes, in our college, we have got that, we have been facilitated with this smart boards, and we have those smart boards wherein we'll be able to um, draw colorful diagrams, or if we are speaking about for specifically for mechanical students, creating your about your CAD and all those things, when we are, when your faculty is speaking about the uh, the top view, front view diagrams and all those inclinations and all those things, it would be very difficult for us to understand it on a paper. But if we are able to do it on a smart board, it would be more interesting, and it will be easy for the student to understand. So that those possibilities are there, right? So then interactive classrooms. Interactive classrooms, through these interactive classrooms, we are able to do, we are able to understand, or to, we are able to reach out to a very different level. So all these possibilities are there through these interactive classrooms, where we are able to have not just that of the traditional class. At the same time, we can have the mixture of both traditional and e-learning together. And we'll also have that interactive classrooms through like defining things that are quite required, asking a question at that moment, you will respond immediately through some applications or through some gestures or something like that. So all these things are possible for us. Then we are speaking about CAL and CBT simulations. That is nothing but computer aided learning and computer based training. So both are there. You are supposed to learn by using the computer aids, and also computer based training is also there. So these simulations will actually create a lot of big platforms for us to understand and learn. So these things are possible only because of technological growth. And yes, definitely yes, as you are able to see that here, you are able to see the small gif that learning is important today. Even your technology is learning all by itself. It is doing some trial and errors, and it is trying to learn. We call it as AI or ML, right? Wherein it is very much important for us to learn the same way. We have done that in our previous days, and we are supposed to follow it for another few days, so that the needs will be fulfilled very properly. Then we have the other technology, that is video conferencing, something like whatever that we are doing right now. And then online learning. Online learning can be recorded or live, both, but video conferencing is specifically, it is live. So right now whatever that we are speaking about is the video conferencing that we are interacting right now. May not be completely conferencing, but for your response, if suppose you have a question, you may not be able to speak to me directly, but we have the chat box available there, where you can post your question and I will be able to answer that, right? That is one of the other thing. Going ahead, we have the other thing that we have to keep in mind is virtual reality, which will be one of the most advanced and more efficient the technology, which will facilitate all of us, even teachers and also students, to incorporate all the advantages that were specified in the previous slide, and also fulfill a kind of traditional classroom. So all these things are possible, that we are expecting very soon. And this, through this virtual reality, we will be able to reach out to very different extents of teaching and learning. So these are the different technologies we have in terms of learning. Okay, so we will also see what all the different platforms that are available in the upcoming presentation. So it is very much important for us to highlight what are the advantages of e-learning. We will also speak about disadvantages, but it is very much important, very important to speak about advantages first. The first thing is that flexible. It is very much flexible in terms of time. Sorry. So it is very much flexible in terms of time, which is very much important. Yes, we all agree with that. So it is time and place are the two important parameters. If we are able to make it flexible, and we will be able to reach out to more number, and we will be able to transfer more amount of knowledge to anyone. These possibilities are there. So time and place, if you are able to make it flexible, that's one of the biggest advantage. Yes, e-learning is doing that. It is interactive. How come it is interactive? If you ask me, in this platform, that would be in a very different way, but it is interactive because in a class, if you disturb in between, it would be a question, or sometimes it would be your disturbance because you discuss or speak with your friends, discuss with your friends and all those things. But that can be reduced, and you can post your questions and ask your questions or raise your hands, so that you get your opportunity, or you get your chance to make the session interactive. We say something, you respond. You may respond. Previously it would be like all 60 will be shouting at the faculty altogether. That would be very difficult for the faculty to understand also sometimes. But here we have a different option: raise hands or post in the chat box. We will be able to see to it, and we'll be able to take that for an interactive discussion, right? That is one of the advantage. The second thing is about immediate. It is possible that you will be able to create immediate response. You will be able to get immediate response. It is not that you have created a complete course. You all know that NPTEL courses, if there are like recorded courses done in the previous semester and all those things, it is not that you have to wait for 8 weeks to complete the program. If you are good enough, if you have got time, complete all the videos in the first week itself, take the exam in the second week, and you're done with this, right? So again, exams have to go to a different level. Online exams have to go to a different level. We are still in a point that we have to go and sit in a common place to write the exams. That change is coming up. We'll also look forward to that. Then modifiable. I can modify my sessions however I want. Today I have made my sessions for 45 minutes, and I observed that there were some disadvantages or distractions in my sessions. So I wanted to add some new flavors into my teaching. So next time I am able to do that, right? Or to the same video, I'm able to do something. I'll be able to put a nice background music to it, or I'll be able to put some new animations in between. I'll be able to highlight some words that I'm going to discuss about, right? So all these things are possible. Very recently, like for like okay for our department students, we made a video for a lab, and there we have brought on this kind of concepts of giving a small light background music, or creating some concepts in terms of giving highlighting the words and all those things we are trying to do. Okay, so non-linear, it is completely non-linear. You don't have to go in a common ratio or common scale, which makes all of us boring, right? So we'll be able to create that variations are possible, which is very much which is one of the biggest advantage that we have to speak about. Then richness of resources. You will be able to create we will be able to create rich resources, colorful resources, more attractive resources, right? So all these things are possible through e-learning. So in my traditional way, in traditional teaching, if I'm trying to use a blackboard and trying to create a colorful diagram there, the time consumed will be more, and I'll have to manage things within the time. But in e-learning, if I have to create one diagram which I'll discuss for 1 minute, if I take 1 hour in the previous time, and if I sit and design it, it will not be a loss because I can use it for many other things. See, that is also one of the method of learning for a teacher. We will also learn through it. So resource richness can be improvised. Then shared access to resource. This is one of the biggest possibilities. As I said, we can reach to a maximum number. It is not specifically for my students or my classroom. It can also extend out of my classroom. This possibility is there. Then store and archive files and messages. Very important. I teach now. You're not able to ready. You're not ready right now to listen to my lecture, but you have got all the possible chances that you can record, store it, listen to it whenever you want. And whenever you feel like it is done, you don't need to keep that video. You can archive the files and messages. So all these things are there, right? You can use, you can record, you can use, you can reuse, and you can neglect later on, right? So all these possibilities are there, right? So that these things are always important for us to understand, and we will be able to utilize it in a better way, right? Then Store and process scores. This is also possible. Analysis can be done at a very quick rate, and analysis, the results of analysis can be stored for a long time, and analysis results can be processed. I can understand what student is capable of learning in what way, and what is the better way that I can teach that to that student, so that the student can learn in a better way, right? Today I saw that one of the student was not good or was not comfortable through my one method of teaching. Then what I can do is I can create an alternative teaching methodology, and I can create another different small video. I can share it with that specific student, and he'll be happy through that, right? So that is also there. And at the same time, I can process your results. You have got some results previously from your previous semesters or previous years or your previous learnings, maybe your 12th, 10th or something like that, and I can understand what subject are you good at and where you are lacking knowledge with. And so I can plan things very properly. Like that only I can have those knowledge additional concepts or additional topics added to your lecture, to my lecture, so that I can make it more interesting, or I can make sure that you get the knowledge in a proper way. So that possibilities are there. Then adopt to students' performance. Yeah, as I said, you do analysis first of all. When you have done the analysis very properly, then we will go for, we can adapt to the student performance, where, how, and what is required for the student. We will be able to understand that, and we'll be able to deliver that specifically, right? Then provide formative feedback. This is one of the very important thing. Formative feedback, and like a summative feedback we have, and formative feedback. Formative feedback is an instant feedback taken for sessions or for lectures for subject, like that. So you will be able to get that understanding of your student about your methodology of teaching, your synchronization with the student, and your ability to reach to the students. All these things you will be able to analyze properly, and you will get a response, or you'll get a feedback, so that you will be able to manage, alter, or we can have a proper alterations that are there in between the classroom. It is not just the feedback that is given by the student to the faculty. It is also important that the feedback given by a faculty to the students also. It is not just the faculty can only alter themselves to sit in a place. It is also that the students should also come up with small changes or variations as per the requirement for the class, so that your class becomes more interactive and interesting, right? We'll see that what are the different things that you need to do it, your responsibilities, not just our responsibilities. Most of them, whatever we discuss here, is about our responsibilities being a teacher, but it is also important for to being a student. It is also your responsibility that you cope up with the class, right? We'll see to that what are the different things that are there. So what are the different e-learning platforms available? Specifically, we speak about government. Yesterday, you had a discussion of Swayam, NPTEL, and virtual labs. All these things you have already, it's been discussed now, right? So in the discussion, you have tried to understand about what are the importance of Swayam, what are the different courses that are available inside, and also you have tried to understand about the NPTEL, how many different type of NPTEL courses are available, who all are the teachers who are teaching there, and all those things. And also you have tried to see the virtual labs, how you will be able to um, um, experiment through these virtual labs, how you can use the facilities of virtual labs. All these things you have discussed in yesterday's session. But I'm just adding on to it some of the different e-learning platforms that are available through the government initiatives. See, the Swayam is an initiative taken by government of Ministry of Education, right? At the same time, we also have to speak about the other facilities that are available, so which we are supposed to look in. And that is one of the other thing that is available is the Diksha. And then we have e-learning for PG Pathshala, and then we have Swayam Prabha is also a concept related to the Swayam. Then we have National Digital Library of India, which where you will be able to get more amount of content data. You can go down to all these platforms. You will be able to understand, or you will be able to get some new data, new content, which you can keep learn anytime. Even the books also, well, textbooks are available in that in the National Digital Library. So we can go there. It is a online platform that is available, so that you can use it anytime whenever you feel like using it, so that these possibilities are there. Then Shudo Sindhu is one of the other platform available. Then NPTEL and virtual labs. So when we have discussed about Swayam, NPTEL and virtual labs, I think most of the things have been covered through it, and the same concepts have been used for different purpose and they have been named in a different way. But one very important thing that you have to go through is this NDLI, that is nothing but National Digital Library of India, where you will get more amount of resources available for you. So try to concentrate on that whenever you feel like you need something immediately. Go get into this the Digital Library of India and get whatever that you want to get. Okay, that's one of the biggest platform we have. Okay, the next one that we are supposed to speak is about the e-learning platform in private. What all the different private learning platforms that are available for us? And we have many, not just one, two. We have many platforms. I have tried to list out very few of them, right? The one of the thing that I have tried to discuss is the one is that it is Udemy. Then Byju's, an academy, Coursera, Vedantu, Topper, then Doubtnut, then Thinkific, Academy of Mind, and many to list like that. But these platforms, whatever you have, they all concentrate more in terms of the uh, different methodologies. Specifically, I'm not telling only specifically one or two here. These are the few of those that concentrate mostly on the younger side of teaching, and some of them where we are also able to reach out to the UG and PG students just like us. So that is also there. So both we are supposed to look in for right now. So these things, whatever that we are concentrating right now, we are concentrating on, have got both the Byju's. If you are speaking about Byju's, concentrate mostly on the lower grade of learning, whereas Vedantu concentrates quite more on the higher level of learning, and Byju's is all about recorded video where animations are there and all those things. Whereas Vedantu, if you know that Vedantu and Byju's are under the same ownership actually, and yeah, so we have that Vedantu will actually mostly speak about online classroom, online teaching, means live interaction. So all these things are possible. Likewise, we have got like the Udemy and an Academy and Coursera. These have got recorded videos about technologies for the courses that are quite relevant to us. And we also have given a platform wherein you will be able to learn through this e-learn platform, and you have got credits in our college, so you can use these things. More specifically, we concentrate mostly on NPTEL, where you will be able to get the facilities given by IIT professors. So that is one of the biggest platform where you will be able to reach out to those big institutions, or and we will be able to interact, or you will be able to discuss with those teachers there. And definitely, it will not be a live session going on. You will have contact details available through email or through a platform that is available in the e-learning platform. You will be able to interact with the teacher. So all these things are possible there. So these are the e-learning platforms that are available for us. So online class platforms, there are a lot of different online class platforms. Online class, when I define that, it is completely different, but I am not showing that. I'm actually trying to combine online meeting with the online class, whatever that we are trying to use right now. I'm not concentrating on something that we have used in the previous semester. If you all remember, we have used it, right? I don't know how far you first year students were there into this the my means the my professor concept of online classroom. But the concepts whatever that they have used is almost something like a meeting, but there are some possibilities, some restrictions that we can create to students, so that the sessions will not be disturbed by them, and will be restricted for specifically for number of students and within the class, and notifications are possible through that, and all those things are there. But here we combining some of the two or three different platforms. I think we will be able to make our regular meeting sessions as same as that of the online classrooms. So we are using right now, you all are being taught through the Google Meet. So I think you have come up with most of the new thing, or you are able to understand things about Google Meet. I'll try to show some of the things. I think you have explored about it, because we don't see much of the new features that are incorporated in Google Meet. But my requests are there for your activeness in the during the online class. So those things I'll try to put it in front of you. The next one is Zoom meeting. Right now, we are actually connected through Zoom. You are able to see that Zoom watermark down in the right bottom corner. So through Zoom and then streaming to YouTube, that is what we are doing right now. So we have got technology. We have got the combination of them now. So I'm sitting in a place, the host is sitting in a different place. You all are completely in all different places, but we are able to connect, right? That is one of the possibility that is there, right? The next one is about the other one is the Cisco WebEx, same kind of platform, just like Zoom. There are a lot of different upgraded facilities and features are available there. Then Microsoft Teams, that is also there. One of the very oldest video conferencing application available. Then Jitsi is one of the freely available platform for everyone. Jitsi mostly works on a Linux platform. The complete Jitsi meeting is available for free. Then we have got GoToMeeting and GeoMeet. It's a very new one. I think GeoMeet have incorporated most of the features from Zoom and GoToMeeting, and they have rebuilt the complete platform as per their requirement. So these are the different online class platforms that are available for us. We'll try to see, look into the Google Meet ones, and I'll try to show them for you all. Next one. So what are the three important needs that are there here for learning? The three important needs that are there for learning here for us are, first one that is there is the channel. What is the channel that is we are using to have our learning happening? For our learning to happen, what is the channel that we are trying to use is very much important, right? So if you don't use that specific channel, then it would be difficult for us, or it is difficult for everyone to understand or to explore things. And it is also very difficult for us to uh, see to it that, or bring you all to a place where we can share our knowledge. We have told you that you all have to be connected through YouTube live, and definitely you are there. If I have not mentioned that, and if I'm just going on my own on an online session like this all by myself, and I have not shared you the link, you are supposed to attend the meeting, I said, and I'm in the meeting right now. So if I create like that, that is one of the difficulty. Even though we all are there in the YouTube itself, meeting each other would be difficult. So having a very proper channel is much important, right? So what is that? We can hear each other. Important thing. We can see each other is an option. We can hear each other is one of the important thing. You listen to me is important. I show something on my presentation, you will be able to see to that. That is important, right? So we need to have one of the thing, that is the channel. I am actually delivering through a channel and you are receiving through another channel, and we both have to come to a common platform where I share and you listen, or I share and you take it up, will be possible. That is because of the channel. The second thing is about relationship. How much do we understand between each other? I always like, being a teacher, I always prefer to bring in a good relationship between the students, between me and the students for a bit of time, because I usually do what, like, I spend a week or more than a week only to have that synchronization to happen between us, so that initially we all believe and we all follow this kind of a methodology, wherein in initial days that we will not be synchronized to each other. And what happens is, like, even though I am trying to give you good amount of knowledge, we will not be able to have the uh, better way of understanding. Reason is, the way that I teach is not comfortable for you to understand, right? That synchronization will not be there. That means what? The relationship is not properly built, right? So for that, what we can do is that we can go with another option, the option of having a synchronization, to be like giving priority to synchronization. Once we are synchronized, then if you try to teach, then the time required for us to teach whatever the specific or planned content would not be maximum, or it can be reduced to minimum time. Means what? I take more amount of time synchronizing with you all in the initial days. For first, like for 1 week I'll spend to synchronize with you. Then for one complete unit, for the first unit when we are teaching, I'll take, like, specifically it is supposed to be taken for 10 to 12 hours, I'll go for 15-16 hours. Second unit will reduce to 14 hours. Third unit will reduce to 9 hours. Fourth unit will reduce to 6 hours. And fifth unit, by the time we reach to fifth unit, we will be so synchronized, and we'll have a very good relationship that whatever I speak, you will be able to understand in a very positive way. So that makes possible that I can complete my fifth unit in just 4 or 5 hours. Right? That is all about the synchronization. If we are good to each other, and definitely it will be possible for us to understand each other, right? So that is one of the things that is very much important for us. We need to know that. Okay, so next one is topic. What are we talking about? We both should know about that. If I don't know what I'm speaking, and if you don't know what I'm actually speaking, then it is not good, right? We are not happy with that. We need to know that, right? If we are able to have, if we are able to share that title or the highlight of what we are actually speaking, then you can prepare your mindset. And at the same time, even, definitely, of course, when I am teaching, I am supposed to prepare very well for the class and very well for you all, and have to come and deliver it to you all. So the point is that what is that we are getting today, or what knowledge are we getting today? If you are able to understand that very in prior, then definitely you will be able to cope up your mind to that, and you will be able to attend to the sessions very properly, right? So these are the three important needs of learning. One is channel, relationship, and the topic. All three are very much important. Okay, the good practices, before I go into it, I'll try to show I'll try to show you about the uh, online platforms. So I'm just coming back. Just hold on for a second. Share. I'll share the entire screen. Sorry, just a second. Okay, then. So I'll start a meeting now. Here you're able to see that I create a meeting, and you have got like multiple options. You're supposed to attend to it very properly. So all these things are there. So I'll try to connect it. So you're able to see that we have got the options, multiple options available, and I'll also show you how we are actually taking up the your how we are trying to connect to your meeting, and at the same time I'll also try to show how we are actually we are able to uh, concentrate on teaching and also use the facilities that are available with us. So all these things we are trying to do here. Okay. So if you observe here, you're able to see that this is the meeting, how the meeting actually starts. So we have got this attendance taker. This is the attendance taker that is available with the Google Meet. So we have got the list. The list is an upgraded list that has been uploaded by all by itself through the class that I have taken. So what I have done is I have created a Google Classroom. So I'll also show that to you all. So in the Google Classroom option that we have got, so I'll also open that for you all. So meanwhile, I'll go up to meeting and I'll join now. So in the meeting, the important thing that you need to know is so there you go. You have first thing that you need to know, first thing that I always request you people to respond is through the raise hand. I see that like not just me, every one of us or every teacher that are here, we always feel that you people are not responding to things that are asked. Why is that? That is one of the biggest question we have. The important thing is that it is always good that if you can interact. That is what the next slide that I have. What are the good practices that you need to have so that the classes can be more interacting and interesting. So this part, raise hand, is one of the important part that you are supposed to use, right? Use it up. And when you are trying to listen, if suppose you feel that the class is going on a very quick or high speed, turn on the captions. If you are able to turn on the caption, then all the things whatever that people are speaking in the meeting, you will be able to get it in terms of words like this. So this is one of the biggest possibilities that you can use, right? So at the same time, uh, we also have got the possibility of chats. We have got the participants list and we have got chats here. You'll be able to respond to your chat, or you'll be able to respond, or you'll be able to speak to your person whenever you want, or to the presenter whenever you want. So that is one of the other way around. You can say hi, hello, or ask any question. You have a question, you can post that question here. So all these things are possible so that the person can respond to you through it, right? And we also have got the facility to understand the we also can get the recorded meeting. We can record the meeting and you can get the recorded meeting, and it all depends on the features that are available on depending on your what kind of the package that you have purchased. You will get that, and a lot of different things are there to involve. You'll be able to change your background, so that possibility is there. You can change your virtual background. You also have got the chances of using your phone audio, and you can like you have got multiple layouts. You want to have multiple participants viewed on a common platform, you will be able to see all those things. But these things whatever that I'm trying to teach right now or show you all, it is something that is quite important and you need to follow it. You have to use these features. One is the raise hand and other one you can use, that is the captions. Okay, so that is one thing. I'm going to end the call. I'll show you the other one, that is nothing but the Zoom meeting, right? So right now we are in the Zoom meeting. So this Zoom meeting is something like just a second, I'll show you the complete thing. So here we can see the participant list. We can actually respond to the people through our like muting or unmute, and you can speak, and you can also have the ability to what respond to the questions that are asked. I'll just show you that. Here we have the meeting link. So these things are there. So I think since I'm just showing on a stream, so all the visibilities that are there I'm trying to show are not happening here because these things are quite limited. I'm not able to show that. Even if I'm sharing the screen also, I'm not able to show you the Zoom meeting. It is not allowing me to show now. So in the Google Meet, which is very important for us right now, so we let us try to concentrate only on that. So kindly use all the features that are available on the Google Meet, where you will be able to raise your hand, you will be able to post your chat in the chat window. So all these things you try to use them very properly. Okay, next comes, see, the important thing is about your good practices. The important highest, the first point is the most important point that I have to bring in, where we need to have the strong student and tutor contact. How do we build the contact? It's a very big question that it's not so easy to answer. But the answer that I have is, when the tutor asks something, you will respond. It would be if the person is asking you, they would be asking your name or an answer for a question, anything. Your response is quite more important. When you start responding, the relationship starts building. You need to have that contact and connect. So that is possible only when you start responding. Mostly the initial responses should always happen through your voice. Later on through chat is also fine. Next one, have positive student and student cooperation. You need to have that cooperation between you. When a person is asking a question, it should not be the way that you discuss or disturb that student. It should be the way that you appreciate the questions asked by the student or your friend, and you should be able to understand the question. And if there is anything that you want to add in, you should be able to stand up and add. Stand up and add means you can unmute and speak or put it in the chat box. That is what my meaning is all about. Okay, so that should be happening here. Allow your friends to ask questions. Don't pull them down when they are asking questions. We see that many times if someone is asking questions, by the end of the session, you people will not be happy. You start posting it in the chat box or in the your WhatsApp personal group saying that don't ask questions during the end of the sessions. They'll take more time and all those things. That should not be the case. You should always appreciate the student who is asking questions, because always whenever there is a question, there is always a new answer and there is always a new thing to learn, and we should accept that. And this is only possible when you allow your friends to ask questions. The next one is active learning. What is this active learning? Active learning is nothing but finish off what is to be learned on that day when left to you. When we are speaking about online class, maybe it is not possible that you can allow your time, but you have to sit there in time, specifically with respect to the content that is delivered during that time. Later on, you will get the recorded video and you can re-look into it and you can understand it. But at that moment, you have to be interactive. So when you are interactive, the active learning is possible. Meaning to say, when I say there is a question that is given and asking for an answer, you should be able to solve it and respond to that question that is asked. Or else, if there is a small question that is asked, you should be able to answer. Yes, that is always there. You will always feel whether it is right or wrong. Should I answer or not? Those that kind of thoughts will come to your mind. I agree with that. If you feel that the answer is completely wrong, don't answer. But if you feel like it could be an answer, answer it. We are teachers. We are here to listen or take up all the answers that is given by you and then tell you what is the right answer. Right? We'll do that. It's our job. We'll do that. Okay. Always be responding. Then the next one is give prompt feedback. Very, very important. It should not be like I'll click on only fives. All fives I clicked on. No, all ones I clicked on. He is not good. He scolds me every time and I'll give all one for everything. Not looking at the question at all is not good. It's very wrong. Read that whenever you are giving a feedback. Feedback matters in all different ways. So be prompt when you are giving feedback. When we ask after the end of the session, were you able to understand things that we discussed today? Were you comfortable? If you say yes, we will follow the same thing tomorrow. If you say something that this was not right, that can be altered like this, we will be comfortable this way. If you can say that, that alteration can be brought in and we will be able to create a comfortable platform for you to understand things or learn. Right? So that is very much important. Then understand the importance of time on task. It's very important. Why the time is scheduled for you for any specific task. Understand the importance and try to utilize that. Then understand the communicated high expectations. If we say that there is some expectations, understand that high expectations, whatever we have about you, or the reason for having that expectations about you. Then learn ways of learning. See, this is very much important. Learn ways of learning. Learning is not just in a single way. I taught something, you understood something, and you still have some doubts, then you can use a different method. You have got some doubt with the word practices, go to Google, type in practices, try to see some videos or some descriptions that are available, understand it, come back to the whatever that the learning that you are doing right now. So this methodology you should use. You should be able to make yourself more flexible to jump into different platforms, to understand different things that are not possible at one platform, right? That methodologies of learning you should always incorporate. Then participate in a conversation. Whenever there is a conversation, always participate. The more you participate, the more interactive it will be. The more interactive it is, more interesting it will be. The more interesting it is, more knowledge will be possible. Knowledge spread will be possible. It is not just that a teacher can teach and you can learn. It is also possible that you can give some knowledge that I can learn. That is also there, so that you have to bring in, or you have to jump into the conversation and be active in the conversation, and it is very, very important. So this point is very, very important. And all these points are not just for e-learning, frankly speaking, it is also for all different types of all modes of engagement, and wherein all these points are very much important. You have to have all that, then only our platform of learning becomes more efficient, right? Then the last thing, I think, like last two things we have, then one is the tips for take with respect to taking the online class. Whenever you are taking the online class, what are the tips that you have to keep in mind? Treat your online course like a real course. You have to start focusing on it. You have to decide it all by yourselves. It is just that you have to decide your mind. You decide your mind to accept that the online class is as same as that of the real class. You have to accept that. You have to make up your mind to that, to that way. Okay. And the other one is hold yourself accountable. Always think that your presence is accountable. It is important. Don't sit only for the sake of attendance. Everybody see that, we all see that you're there in the meeting. We have told that the meeting is, we have come to the end of the meeting, you can leave the class and you can join the other class, but 10 to 15 students are still there. They will not even respond, they'll not even go out of the meeting. Mean to say what, you have turned on the meeting, kept your mobile phone somewhere, or you have put the complete thing in the background and you're playing a game or you're doing something else. That is not good. Always think that your presence is accountable. Then practice time management. It is very much important. We all say that some sports person will be good at getting up in the morning at 5 o'clock for a jog, for some workout, or to make keep himself fit and flexible. But why can't the others do? The only point is that they have not practiced it. Nothing else. It is not only for a sports person to get up in the morning and keep himself fit. It is also the duty of everyone. It is just that we have to practice. Some of us are not comfortable in the morning, we'll go it in the evening. We'll do everything in the evening. No problem, do it. But when things becomes like when you try to do it for multiple times, at some point it becomes practice. And definitely yes, it will always result in a very good way. Then comes the create regular study is very important. Create a steady space, some space where you can you know, I think something went wrong. Okay, I hope the presentation is now. So study space is not just a place where you sit, you study. It is also the place that you actually plan to study. It could be in terms of time. It could be in terms of the content that you need to learn. So everything is to be understood. So that is why it is important to have a proper space to learn. Then eliminate distractions. Try to eliminate all the distractions. How you do it? Sit in a place which is possibly quiet. Try to put on earphones always when you're listening, and whenever you put on earphones, try to concentrate on things. Don't go out for different sounds that are there around you. Using earphones, more a possibility is that you can avoid most of the distractions. Then figure out how you learn the best way, with all the things that method, best method for you to learn. You only try to analyze and figure out. So you try to see something and learn something from the class. You have got some doubts, go to a different platform to understand, or connect with the faculty in a different mode to understand. All possibilities are there. Then actively participate. This is very much important. I'm trying to highlight this in every presentation, right? So actively participate. Your response, your conversation is always important. Maybe you speak or you respond in the chat box, both are fine, but your response, your active participation is more important. Then leverage your network. Understand about it, then you leverage your network. what is important, who can be of your synchronizing frequency, who can come to your levels, and who can explain or who can discuss. Have that very properly and think about that, create a network and then discuss about it. So all these things are some of the tips that you can actually follow so that you can have your online class more interesting and you can learn a lot through this online class. Okay, the last thing that I have for the today's session is about the disadvantages of online teaching. It is not fair if I just only speak about the good things and I leave out the bad things. There are always some disadvantages with respect to the online learning. What are those? First thing is inability to focus on screens. Yes, it is very difficult for us to sit in front of a system or on a screen for a long time. Not possible. But planning it in a way, in a very proper way, we can actually do that. If you all see that our timetable, our college timetable, we have planned it in a way having 45 minutes of sessions with a 5 minutes of break. It is only to keep your screens off for that 5 minutes. But the problem is you will not do that. At the between 5 minutes or in between the sessions also, you jump to your social media platforms and you again spend time on the screens. Don't do that. Take break in the breaks. When you get bigger break, then you can use your screen for something else. Or else it is always preferred, always insisted that do not jump to different social medias for that 5 minutes of break. You will not be able to do anything. You may be able to respond to one or two friends, that's all. But you can do that by in the bigger break. Maybe in between like two big sessions, you'll have a bigger break. There you do it. Okay. Then technology issue. That problem is always there. Someone will not find good bandwidth. Someone will always see that they don't have a proper facility to attend to this online class, but that is there. But I should not highlight this can be actually taken out because today we are able to see that the technology provisions are there with mostly everyone. Okay, the sense of isolation, that is one of the problems. Sitting in a place for a long time all alone, not possible. Isolation, right? We all are speaking about self isolation because of this COVID pandemic. Think about it. You will not be able to sit in one place for 1 hour for a class. Then if you neglect yourself, that would be very big possible, the very big problem for you to be isolated for more than 14 days. Then teacher training, it is not, it will not be an interactive, it becomes more like a teacher training. Not happy. And also we are supposed to have trained, we are supposed to be trained to make sure that we engage our online class very properly. That is also one of the drawback we have. Then manage screen time. Difficulty is that managing the screen time, how to manage the screen time and how to plan the screen time, both are important. Then no face-to-face interaction. Even though we are having that virtual presence through this video call, it is very much difficult to have that that cooperation of having face-to-face interaction, right? So that is there. But as the time comes with different requirements, we have to adjust all by ourselves and we have to cope up with it. We have to do it. We are doing it some way, right? Let us try to improvise it. So through this session, I think we all are we all can come to a single platform where we can improvise ourselves and reach out to a point where we cope up to each other. We will be able to share knowledge in a good way. Then the last two things is a lack of self-discipline, low motivation, and distractions. Self-discipline will not be able to sit in a place. Look at me. I am not able to sit in a place for this one hour for a time, right? Think about yourselves. You will know you always feel like moving around. You cannot sit in a place. No restrictions. They are not there. There are no one who actually scolds you when you get up from a place, right? That is low motivation. Nobody says that are you listening, or so nobody can sit next to you and observe your understanding or your listening. Distractions will be more. External disturbances are more. Then limited acceptance. I am not ready to accept everything that you're telling right at that moment because my mind is not concentrating on it. Then accreditation. It is not possible for me to get accredited with things that have been delivered. I'll not be ready to what acknowledge and accredited the things that are happening. And recognition. There are no recognitions. If you are responding in a good way, in between the 50 responses that are there in the chat box, your response goes hidden. Lower motivation, lower recognition is also one of the disadvantages. Likewise, so these are the points that are there that we have got for to discuss among things here. So online or e-learning has got a lot of advantages and also some of the disadvantages with all these things. And Yes, of course. I have to say by the end of the session that offline teaching was there, is still here. It will always be retained in our future also. But through this e-learning platforms, our reach can be expanded and more amount of knowledge we are able to gain. Most of you would have been attending online courses or internship courses through NPTEL or SWIM or any of the other things like Coursera and all those things. So see, through those platforms only you will be able to grasp or include more amount of knowledge. So all these things are possible. So speaking about e-learning platforms or e-learning online teaching, I have to specify that the online teaching and e-learning teaching are more efficient and it is always more useful. And it is only the one thing that we have to sit student being a student we have to sit, and being a teacher I have to make it more interesting and designed or look like attractive. And if we can, if we both can cooperate between each other, and definitely yes, e-learning can be more effective than the traditional way of learning. So with this, I thank everyone for being here. So before I just close, if there is any question, the chat box is open. We look forward to see the questions in the chat box. If you have anything to ask, you can post the questions in the chat box. I can answer to your questions if you have. Meanwhile, I would like to thank everyone. Uh, thank the team of Induction program for giving me an opportunity, especially Dr. Shiling Yoda sir, head of physics department, uh, who has given this opportunity for me to be seen in front of you all, the young minds of a college, and for having this small interaction. And I hope this session was quite good enough. With this, if I'm able to motivate a few of you, I'll be more happy. I'll be happy to have the online learning going on and making it more efficient. So thank you, sir. Thank you so much for giving me an opportunity. I'll be answering. I'll look forward for some questions in the chat box. If there is anything, I'll be happy to answer. So over to you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir.
Yes,
I
sir.
think there are no questions in my side.
I don't
Once
see.
again, I thank you, sir, for your informative session.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay.